All right, welcome back, everyone. Twitch, thank you for hanging in there. I hope y'all enjoy this next one. We're with Sim Air Force. We couldn't find a good less than an hour flight, or I didn't see one. We had one come in Singapore to JFK, possible in about 100 years. Not right now. It might be possible in 5 years with 5 hours to 6 or 7 hours with the work that's going on in the hypersonic airline industry, but it's not airborne yet. Even the Concorde couldn't do it that fast. So, but welcome in. We are in Selfridge Air National Guard Base, Michigan. Getting ready to fly a flight over to Volk Field in Wisconsin. Camp Douglas is the name of the town right by it. I visited this place back in the mid 80s on an exercise just prior to Thanksgiving. I thought, what the heck? We flew to an Air National Guard base I'd never heard. Well, I've heard of, but never really went into it. Volk Field, I was there for about 20, 30 days. It was definitely different, but it was also interesting in the exercise they were doing there. Of course, back then, Cold War. So everything was geared up to battling it out with the Soviets in Yup. Who knew it'd be in the Middle East? Just a few years later. So, but anyway, so it was interesting to watch how and what things did and all. It was, that was one of those things you so, yeah, I did it. Okay, no more. Yeah, the Air Force and the military really aren't into the no more business, but you never know. So, anyway, we are in, yes, another 737. We are in this, what is the 737-700 from LevelUp. It's the LevelUp 737NG. Let me see. I think if I type this, you can find out how to get a hold of it. There you go. And in it, you have the 600, 700, 800, 900s, and some variants there of each. However, in the 700, the actual aircraft you see here, hang on, let me get back to it, is what the C-40 is loosely patterned off of. It's actually patterned off the BBJ, Boeing Business Jet 1, by the way. There is a Boeing Business Jet 2, which is the 737-800 frame decked out in the inside to the nines, to the billions of dollars. No. This aircraft primarily would fly higher ranking individuals, sometimes Congress and senators, basically anywhere in the world. Same with the C-32. Now there is a C-32 that does fill in for Air Force One when they try to save money and not take the big girl out. We all see the 747-200. But there is a variant of it. So that's what we plan to embark in. So number-wise, this aircraft, I think, is 50 people. But that's also so they can put more fuel in it to extend ranges, stuff like that. And that's all I know about the plane. I never got in it, never walked around. I am just not that high up in the food chain, so they won't let me. So All right, so let's get this plane going, shall we? We got about an hour's worth of time to work it out, so let's do it. Okay, 3 green, engine electronic controllers good, reversers closed, radios look good, service and service interphone and dome light off. Go to align on DC 7 minutes. ELT armed. And, you know, hang on just a second, folks. I hear talking in the house. I know it's not in my head. I took my meds today. No, just kidding. Stand by. All right. I wasn't hearing things in my head. There really was something going on. Oh, man, what a day. Okay, so let's get going, shall we? Now, again, just so you know, if you put the display selector switch up here on the IRS display to heading status, that number is how many minutes to align. Many of the Boeing aircraft, if you don't see it on the nav display, look for it there if you do this step. Otherwise, you won't see it. We'll come down here real quick. We'll go to plan like always, bump it up a little. And I'll bump this one up a little for now. Now, this aircraft is still not compatible. It's compatible with 3.0 in X-Plane 12, but the radar is not. They're in the process of working on it and some other neat little things behind the scenes. It should be out sometime soon. Our favorite word in the flight sim industry, soon. All right, so let's come into FMC. Looking it over real quick, go to pause int, and we are at Kilo, Mike, Tango, Charlie. Charlie, there we go. Next page, select, back, click, route, click, K. We go back one page. Was it B? Okay. Click. Cool. All right, so we've got the alignment started. Now, let's go over here and let's now bring SimToolkit in real quick. Kind of look over our flight and see what we have in store for us today. You know, we bring SimToolkit in, but we don't have it running yet. Oh, my problem. Hang on, we're getting it fired up. Oh. All right, just got to wait a little bit longer. Actually, I can do a lot of this without it connected. All right, so you can get an idea. Here's where we are over here north of Detroit, headed over this way north and west of Madison. Almost due west of Fond du Lac, Oshkosh. People may know that little town from a couple months ago. Fly now. And yeah, we're showing up some rain. We'll be really shocked if there is any. All right, like I said, let's do a quick pre-brief. 28,750 pounds of payload. That's 125 peeps. 68, call it 6,800 pounds of cargo, even though we'll probably get that number. Block fuel 14,088. Cost index 13, and we'll fly at 36,000. Weather 150 at 7. Oh my, we don't have a crosswind. Clear 22 degrees here, 71 Fahrenheit. Beautiful day here. What? Where's this coming from? Visibility 1 mile 5/8 on 19. What? Interesting. I don't get this when they say 10-mile visibility. And there's nothing reported at Volk Field. Go figure. All right, real quick, let me get us up on VATSIM. All right, reach 1801 will be the call sign to look for if you're interested. Excuse me, I all of a sudden getting the coughs. All right. Perfect. Let me file. And get us online. RC, CH 1801. Okay, 4131. Let me get that in real quick. 4131. We're good there. We're good there. We're good there. Cool. Towers up at Detroit, not here. All right. So we verify our numbers. They look good. Activate. We'll step outside and see what happens. For about a hot minute, and then we're in it to get going. All right, well, we'll get back to that in a minute. All right, let's get to work. Hang on, I got lost in screens. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, so we are refueling. We are loading cargo. Unfortunately, I screwed up somewhere in the making it compatible with Zebo, and I'm gonna have to reload the aircraft. I'm just kind of waiting for the next one to come out now, so we'll see how long that takes. Okay, so let's get back up here. So we are in alignment. Yep, and we are I think we're aligned actually. We are indeed. And we're still refueling. Yep. Okay. All right. We're going to just push on to the top here. All right. So coming down, yaw dampers can stay off for the moment. We'll get the fuel pump ready. Okay. We're on ground power, cabin, and IFE switches are on. Equipment cooling are in normal. External power's on. Pitot heat off, anti-ice off, electric hydraulics off. Again, remember I told you on the 800 there is no trim air switch. Thank you to the help I got from someone on that. I didn't know that. And we have the isolation valve open. Okay, today's flight, did we say 36,000? Yes. And did I close that too? Dang it, I sure did. I'm trying to get the airport Volk Fields elevation. 912. Okay, we got the basics. Ooh, no, we don't. Yeah, we'll go there. Only thing I wish, like the 767, the panel here would show the different, you know, the weights instead of having to come down here. Quick math, 12,000. We need 7,000 in each tank. Okay, so we're still a good 2,000 pounds away. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with the FMCs. Okay, we're on the route page, so I'm going to start like I did before, departure. Now, out of here, we have a 1.9 wind, or a wind of, 150, 28 minutes ago. So yeah, 1.9 would make sense. Let me bring that in so you can real quick get an idea of what we're doing. Okay, so 1.9 means we're going to taxi, let's see, back taxi and take off 9,000 feet onto the MIGI 3 departure. 1.9. MIGI, oh, stand by, folks. Let me go back to route. Let me request. I jumped a step, sorry. Okay, that helps a lot. Yeah, there we go. J. Miggy. Okay. All right, so again, 1.9. MIGI and bringing it in. Let me just look at it. Sketch. All right, execute. Now, we got vectors. So what we're going to be doing is flying off on a heading of 190, turn, my guess, right about here over Troy and go direct. Pretty quick to avoid Detroit's traffic. Okay, and then we'll head to Jack's, Miggy, Monty, Getch. All right, and then from Getch to Adams and come into Volk Field. We don't have any weather reported here. And I don't remember the runway being 927. Huh. I thought it was more north-south. Huh. That's what you get for about 30 years, since you've been 30 or 40 years. Because, yeah, we would have been, wow. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can't track down something nearby. That's not helping. Let's try. Up that won't have what I'm looking for. Oh, they're really. Okay, I'm not winning this battle, so we'll just kind of have to play it by ear. Let's just, we're taking off 19 here. Minneapolis is too far. La Crosse might be too far. Let me. $340 at 9. Okay, that would make 27 viable. Okay, cool. We'll plan 27 in there. Oh, perfect. There's a direct ILS in there. Right off Adams. Cool. That'll work. All right. So let's go back to departure, arrival. Where's, hang on. Adams ought to be fine. Okay, so next page, Adams, Yalo, Hackett. Okay, Yalo, and then the runway hold point is Dells. for the missed approach. All right, looks good. Back here, let's go to init request. Oh. All right, and load. And currently our dispatched flight, I don't need runway analysis. How about dispatching us? 3.17. Okay, where's our alternate again? Oh, to O'Hare. Okay, that'll work. $360, everything looks good. All right, let me get over here, get our takeoff set up. Okay, little different takeoff this time. We're gonna go TO2 and 42 degrees. Okay, climb 2 is what I'm expecting. Okay, go to the takeoff page. Next page, runway wind 150. Getting a theme here. It seems like, where the heck did Sim Toolkit go? Oh, there it is. No gradient. Okay, cool. I like that. Slash 187. Perfect. All right, 22 degrees. Sound cool? It sure does. Okay. Next page, we're going out of here, flaps uno. And we're going to go 134. 136. 142. And again, you can do all of this with this aircraft on SimBrief. All right, just go to either the takeoff perf at the top or performance and tools on the right. You'll be able to with many of the aircraft. Friday right now, for those listening, May, and I think I will stick to what's in the schedule, the MD-11 will take to flight. It is not updated to 3.0 as of yet that I know of, but it works in 3.0. You just don't get all the fun radar stuff. Just like this airplane. All right, so 134, 136, 142. Cool. All right, now let's get up here, start up that APU, get our passengers boarding. I say cautiously. There it goes, spooling up. Thought y'all might like that. Okay, the APU is up and running. We have the generators available. And we'll put her on the APU. And let's start boarding peoples. That's a bummer that I need to update this, but oh, I can't believe I messed it up. Oh well. But anyway, welcome aboard. Thanks for choosing us today. And we'll be underway here shortly to Volk Field in Wisconsin. Cheese country. Miggy 3, do we have any restrictions? Maintain 17,000 ATC, filed 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll start to 17, see how that goes. All right, this is where these timers come into really good help.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Pull up. Airspeed low.
All right, we're set, ready to go here. I'm just getting set up here. Oh, okay, so we'll come off. Kind of come off and probably want to turn 270 and then work our way over to our first fix. Looks like Jaxie, and then up to Miggy. Okay. Hey, we're about halfway there on the loading. I got it started late. That's my fault. Let me double check us on Air Force. So just a real quick while we're waiting, if you're interested in flying in the military operating areas, MOAs, special use areas, Nevada test range, flying combat missions in those where you simulate, well, actually you can now in many of the sims drop ordnance and simulate dogfights, if not shoot at each other. Air refueling, cargo drops, escorts. You need to be a part of a VATSIM special ops or organization. They're called VSOAs, and basically two big requirements. One, they have to be recognized by VATSIM. Two, you, the pilot, have to fly on VATSIM. Hence, why is it needed? So, again, back in the days when, say, 2010 and before, you would get like within of a tanker, within like a mile for it to look like you're hooked. But if you looked at it, you'd be look like years apart. So today you can actually get right in. However, I have yet to find a good working tanker in X-Plane. We have a great livery in the Flight Factor 767, but just don't have the boom or baskets to deploy for depending on type of aircraft. Same with the C-130s. So, but with the C-130s, you can do cargo drops, LAPE drops, and paratrooper drops. Same with the C-17. So, again, you got to be a part of an organization. Sim Air Force is one of those. So go to icrew.simairforce.com. We'd love to have you aboard. There is some training you have to do because you got to understand we're not here to launch fighters and go attack anyone's super tub. That's part of the rules of flying for these. You're not allowed to do that, folks. No matter what. It doesn't matter if you're part of this organization, any of the others. You're not allowed to launch and go shoot down A380s or 747s or 777s because they're so huge a target. Now, Sim Air Force, and I think some of the others, have ways of using digital combat sim to allow you to fly in other types of missions. So check us out. I don't know that side. I'm more of the DV cargo guy. But there are people there that fly the F-22s, F-35s, 15s, 16s, and they can help you out with that. We even have someone that knows how to drive F-4s. So check us out. Again, icrew.simairforce.com.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Well, it's about time. All right, let's get this firecracker lit and going. I missed that light telling me the PA was in use. All right. Can't wait for the new version. All right, let's get going. Okay, we're on APU. Okay, cool thing. No pushback required.
On the buckle. Your seatbelt should be worn low and tight and at all times while seated. The airplane has 6 emergency exits, 2 forward doors, 2 overwing, 2 exit doors in back, all of which are indicated by red and white signs overhead, and they're also designated by lighting along the center aisle. Please read over the safety card you'll find in the seat back.
Way too noisy back there.
Positions for takeoff.
cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Attention all aircraft. Selfridge ANGB information. Victor current. Altimeter 3007.
80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. $400. 1,000.
I didn't realize the microphone had got muted. How'd that happen? Anyway, hey, welcome in again. Flying with Mike. We're flying from Selfridge Air National Guard Base to Volk Field Air National Guard Base. Selfridge is in Michigan, Volk Field in Wisconsin. We are in the LevelUp 737. So, unfortunately, the LevelUp aircraft, albeit just like Z-Boat, just as good, just as unbelievable that the fact they're free. However, they have yet to be updated to the new 3.0 radar applications. They are in the process of getting it updated with some surprises. We'll leave it at that unless you know already. I'm not going to be the spoiler alert. You'll just have to go over to their site, check them out, and see for yourself. I know it will make a couple people I know very happy. Sorry for that blast in the ears. Holy mackerel. But overall, we got a really good plane here in the 737s from LevelUp, especially if you incorporate the Zibo files that you can. Brings it really up to it. So hopefully with this update coming, it'll be really a breath of fresh air. And for those that like to fly the 700, the 900, and the 600, they'll be made available. I still prefer the 800, sorry. They have the 800, don't get me wrong, but I'm still one of those that just prefers flying the 800. Right, we are coming up over Jaxie, turning on course. All right, like I said, we're just under an hour to landing at Volk Field. We have no METAR. I don't even think there's even a tower frequency there. Yeah, it's all CTAF 127.5. So hang on, let me first get back on Unicom. And CTAF 127. 500. Right? Yeah, 500. All right. And our ILS if we need it. 1085. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Like, what is going on here? 1085. All right, I hope you've enjoyed. We are now headed out to Getch, then over to Adams. Well, actually, we're headed to Miggy. Currently headed to Miggy, then Moni, and then Getch.
Thousand to go.
All right, as you heard, we are level seatbelt sign off. We are in cruise. And unfortunately, like I said, no METARs or anything to pull up at Volk Field. Only that we have the ILS. let me check something. Okay, we look good there. We look good there. 143 miles to descent. There is actually an aircraft at Volk Field. An F-15. All right, we are standing at about 40 minutes from Volk Field over here in Wisconsin. It's a little town called Camp Douglas, a few miles, 10, 15, 20 miles from Toma. Those of you familiar with cheese country, cheese head country, I should say. And we should be landing runway 27. We'll see when we get there. We'll be coming in the ILS. But welcome aboard, Flying with Mike, flight number 2. For those of you on Twitch, and again, sorry for the whatever happened with the internet. I really don't know. We had a hiccup of some kind, and we'll continue on. Irregardless of internet issues, we have the flight being recorded as well for upload to YouTube. So in a couple of days, it'll be available for you as a way that during those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday days that I work, if I'm unable to fly those nights, this will help to supplement, hopefully. But again, Sim Air Force, who we're flying for, we're flying a C-40, which is, in all reality, it's not exactly a 737-700, but the frame is that it is actually a 737 BBJ. So there are some slight differences, fuel quantities probably, and stuff like that. But, and people, how much it can haul. As we all know, business jets don't haul 150 people. They haul 30 at the most, 40. So, and in high luxury. So, not so in the government, but not like, it's a step up from first class, but not a complete step up to what you've seen some of the business jets look like. So anyway, I just wanted to get you up to speed. Thank you so much for sticking around through those internet issues, and hope you enjoy. Like I said, we're about 35, 40, oh no, well, wait a minute here. Hang on, let me, it's hard to read. We're about 35 minutes out of Volk Field in Wisconsin, an Air National Guard base. Does a lot of trainings and whatnot there. They can do a lot. There's this, what I remember about this airfield when I was there, like I said, some 30 years ago when I was in the military, 30, 35 years ago. There's a big rock to the east of the airport. And, well, at least what I thought was east. Anyway, there's this big rock. And like I said, I was there in support, not a player. So I didn't have to get into my mop gear or get shot at or do all the other things they were doing to simulate deployments. At that time, it was Cold War. It was against the Soviets somewhere in Europe. Who knew it would be the Middle East where we would need that training? But the cool thing about that rock is all of a sudden we'd get a heads up in the firehouse, and then all of a sudden these A-10s would come around the corner and do what they do best. And then maybe some F-16s, or it was really neat what they did there. And I enjoyed the time there. So, it had its, but it was an interesting experience to be up there. So, many who have been in the military may have visited Volk Field. Like I said, it is kind of a military training base. I don't know what today it really is used for, if there's even an assigned unit there. So, but it was an interesting. Camp Douglas on the other way. Whew. You talk, and I'm gonna single out the Army only because I know most of the time you're by some very small towns. Welcome to Volk Field. They're near Camp Douglas. Back then it was 400 people. Yeah, blink, miss, and you might see the one horse that one horse town was known for. I know the Army, like the Air Force now, is getting to more and more larger cities, but boy, Chanute is one that I remember. Boy, Rantoul, not much bigger. Today it's a little bigger, but not much. All right, but yeah, Camp Douglas was a little itty bitty town back then. I'm pretty sure it probably still is today. So, but anyway, we're going to continue on. We're about to top a descent, 74 miles out, and we'll bring the level up in, and that's where we'll call it. Evaluate the landing, and we'll call it for the day. Next flight is Friday. Again, we'll aim for 1600Z, which is 11 o'clock my time here in the U.S. Central Time. However, we may try to get up early again on that one too, but it will be in the MD-11 for FedEx. Check the schedule here in Twitch and at our Discord channel. So let's kind of keep going. You can see now that the top of descent's starting to drift down the nav display. And we show about 160-ish miles to Adams, which will be our final approach fix for the runway. All right, I'm going to go ahead, kill the music there. We're 40 miles, top of descent. And we should be in on the ground here in about 20 minutes. So, folks, get your predictions in if you're up for it. Let's see, minus, we'll go 200 this time. And let's see, we got a little bit more time. All right, and I have brought voice up in the Discord channel for those that would like to chat. I know I didn't do it on the flight up to Philadelphia. Kind of glad I didn't. That turned into a fun approach, even though we broke out at what, 1300? Something like that. But boy, what a crosswind on it. So, all right, top of descent. Now, I'd put the METAR up here for the airport, but there isn't one. So, I don't know the pressure. I don't know anything. Well, actually, I might be able to pull the pressure up as we get closer. We're still 130 miles out. But we'll use the map for a lot of it. So, but yeah, we don't have anything reporting there. Nothing even close by to work off of. I'm going to check one other source. We're up here. They're calling potentially. Oh, that's a TAF. But I'll go with 3012 for the altimeter. All right, so let's get ready. We're going to come down to 5,000, but let's. We'll set 3012 and hope for, well, it'll be close. For the ILS, minimums are 200 and a half mile. Okay, 200 and a half mile. Okay, all set, ready to go. Hopefully this time I'll get the FMC set up with the proper speed this time. Didn't do that last time, wished I had. All right, we are about 20 miles out. All right, let's see if we'll get as lucky as we did into Philadelphia. When you work with SimBrief, you never know. No wind data. No, nothing out here. All right, descent. We are 17. We're going to start that descent now. There's no centers out here? Nope. Okay, well, that was my one hope. We might pick a center, be O'Hare or Chicago, but we'll kind of see how that goes. All right, so I hope y'all's week has started off pretty decent. There isn't really any good saying for Monday other than I wish it was Friday or Saturday. But anyway, welcome aboard, folks, and hope your day is blessed. Again, like I said earlier, hey, if you're in and around the Scott Air Force Base area, Scooter Town has a little festival, fall festival going on. Yeah, check it out with the kids. They'll enjoy it. 5K run coming up later. And anyway, I just thought I'd throw it out there in case you're interested. All right, looks like we have traffic off our 11 o'clock. Let's see who that could possibly be. Where are we? There we are. Oh, it's going to be a United flight. And all right, I will see how this is going to translate. All right, let's bring up the ILS 1085. Is that correct? 1085269. Okay, everything else looks good. Wrong side. There we go. Yeah, that's close enough. And let's take a look at some things down here, shall we? I'll use this one for now. We'll go to menu, D-Link. CPDLC and AOC standard aren't working. Now you could pull a requests off these. Unfortunately, like I said, there isn't one for here, but here's what we're standing with. We were out at 1951, off at 2002, and we'll get the on and in here shortly. Okay, got the card set. So it looks like 130. Flaps 30. Sorry, folks. And that is for our landing speed. Approach speed per Sim Toolkit was 134. We'll come in a little hotter than that. I'll probably drag it down to 140. All right, we got somebody maybe in range out this way. Nope, not seeing their contrails. Thought we might see it. They're within 20. They're just too far enough out. Either that or it's just blending in well with the lighting. Oh, they disappear. All right, let's get up here.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Nope, I was going to say, if we could see the lake, Oshkosh. It's right out the window right now, but we can't. Somebody put all these clouds in our way. Okay, Wisconsin Dells, straight up there at about 50 miles. That's our missed approach, or our, missed approach fix to hold at. And we're about 15 or so minutes out, maybe a little more from landing at Volk Field. Again, thanks for hanging around with all the internet issues we had departing. Oh, what happened? But anyway, it doesn't matter. Something worked its way out of the system, and we're doing better now. And thanks for those of you on Twitch that's been with us from the start today. It's been about just shy of 6 hours streaming. Started in Fort Lauderdale, headed up to Philadelphia. Then we switched gears and went over to Selfridge Air National Guard Base, and soon to land at our final destination, Volk Field. And many of you are going, where? It's an Air National Guard base that back in the 80s during the Cold War when I was there, only for about 30 days or so, training for Cold War deployments. Let me rephrase that. Training for Cold War deployments that Cold War would have gone into battle, meaning we were going to be in a hot war, except not with nukes. Does that make sense? Good. Hope it's mud. All right. How are we doing here? Oh, perfect. We're getting down to Adams is 80 miles out there, I think. Oh, no, that's 50 miles. My bad. And we are trucking in here pretty decent. So, anyone taken for the predictions into this airfield? Cool. All right, let's get into it because we're getting ready to pass 18,000 transition level. And I am going to take over the vertical speed, keep it up. Okay, we're going to hope the best for 3012 being the altimeter. We're going off the TAF, which I'm hoping is pretty accurate. Plenty of fuel to make O'Hare. V card set, and we are set for our approach. Right, radio altimeter set. Let's start going through this. All right, fasten seatbelts on. Landing lights at 10,000. Approach procedures. We've got the altimeter. We've got the approach set, the ILS course and frequency. Double check. 1085. ILS 1085 I Volk. And 269. 269. Cool. All right. We're set there. Auto brake set to 3. And we're set for the approach. All right, we're slowing for 10,000 feet and looking for the, well, there's the river that I know runs according to the chart out by where we're going to join the localizer. It's washed in the sunlight, so this will be definitely needed. Instruments. And right about in here will be on the ILS. We'll see if it's alive or not. Looks like the localizer is. Now we'll begin looking for a runway.
Thousand to go.
ILS glide slope, got it.
$2,500.
Okay, we're joining the ILS. All right, so don't have a runway yet in sight. We're also still a good 50 or 20 mile out. Okay, we're about 12 miles out, gears down, 3 green. All right, there's, oh, I think I've got the runway out in the distance. It's about in this general area right here. Okay, let's arm up the speed brake. All right, here comes the glide slope here in a minute. It's gonna start dropping down the flight director. All right, I'm gonna take a look. Maybe this will look better. No, not really. All right, let's switch over to Volk field just in case that F-15 came back. At Volk field, common traffic, reach 1801, 6 mile final 427. My bird. Okay, we're showing 353 at 11. Volkfield traffic, reach 1801, approximately 3 mile final 427.
500. 400.
Stable landing.
300. Approaching minimums. 200 minimum. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20,
$80.
All right, and hang on a second. Volk Field traffic, Sim Air Force 1801 off at Delta to the west ramp. All right, turn that off. That. Okay, flaps are up. 4 on the trim. Ooh. Okay, wow, that got way out of whack. Let's take a look up top here. All right, APU gen. All right, welcome to Volk Field, folks. Sorry about that. Getting a lot of stuff done in the background. All right, let's see how we did on this approach. $287 feet per minute. Unfortunately, I don't get speed and all of that. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I will down here. 1G, 133, 1 degree up. Good deal. So we are here at Volk Field. All right. Let's bring in, he says cautiously. Hang on a second. Logitech and see what they showed. All right, Logitech's up. Complete. And I went too fast. Sorry, folks. We'll have to zoom it in again. There may not be any parking spots here. Wow, there isn't. All right. I don't even, none of this looks even remotely familiar. Except for the big rock. I think that's what that is. Yeah. Where they would come around and attack. All right. Anyway. So yeah, we're parked out in front of base ops. 285 feet a minute at 135, 1.4 Gs. I can't complain at that. Let me see if I can find out. Looks like I may have been. Dave Rendon, welcome in. Wow, long time no see. Welcome, sir. Had to go back and chat there and see who's all here. All right, now let's check out the official scorekeeper sim toolkit. Uh, 351 feet a minute, 135. Not a bad gig there. Not sure we'd call that butter, but you know what? It felt like it. All right, let's complete it. Now let's dig into the weeds. Again, the flight was Selfridge Air National Guard Base here in Michigan over to Volk Field here in the middle, we'll call it middle part-ish of Wisconsin. Cheesehead country. All right, hour 23-minute flight. That's what we were looking for. 334 nautical miles, 2,800 kilograms of fuel, 1.4 on the G's landing, 351, 135. Now, we can't get a wrong runway here. Why? Well, there's only one runway. It's either 9 or it's 27. And looking at it, we were 15, 16 feet, we'll call it, off the center line to the left. You can see there. And about 1,700 feet down the runway. Not bad at all. And I'm looking at it here. Oh yeah, nothing looks the same. It's all changed. I think. Yeah, it doesn't look the same. All right, well, sure it does. It just, my mind isn't triggering on it. But yeah, there was this rock right here behind it. That's where the Air Force aircraft attacking would come in. Helicopters, aircraft. It's kind of a cool little deployment, but yeah, we'll call it, hey, we'll chalk it up to, hey, we never done one, we'll never do one again. No, actually, that's a true statement. All right, so overall though, pitch, roll, all looks good. I mean, hey, this was a very good, nice short flight for Sim Air Force. And we had fun. And that's all that matters when you're flying these, that you have fun. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for tuning in, especially through the internet issues on takeoff. Oh, I hate those when they happen, but they happen. We can't do anything about it. Believe me, if I would, I probably could make $1 million off of it. So, but again, thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike. Those of you on Twitch, where we fly live all the time when we fly, thank you. It's been a good 6-hour, 20-minute adventure from Fort Lauderdale to Philadelphia. Then we fired up a second flight from Selfridge Air National Guard Base to Volk Field in the C-40 Bravo B. Clipper is the name they gave it. I don't know why the Air Force went with Clipper, but they did. We're going to stay away from that. I know some people that say, what? That ain't a Clipper. They got Pan Am on the side. But anyway, y'all have a great rest of your week. If we can, we will try to get another flight, maybe 2 in this week before Friday. Friday's flight will be in the MD-11 out of Phoenix. Check the schedules either at Twitch or over on our Discord channel for further details of where we're going, because now I have totally forgotten where I want to go. So, but anyway, y'all have a great week. You've been great. It's been a great time. God bless you all. And remember this verse from Ephesians chapter 1, verse 7. In him we have a redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins in accordance with the riches of God's grace. Hang on. So I hope you all can keep that in the back of your mind as the week might get a little topsy-turvy. But just know, if you've given your heart to Jesus, if you've given your life, you have given yourself, know that you have been forgiven and you will have God's grace helping you. Not going to say it's going to cure all, end all, cure all, but you've got God's grace on your side. So be safe, enjoy, God bless. We'll see you Friday for sure, if not maybe prior to. See ya. Oops.